I came out of my coma 4 days before I let anyone at that hospital know I was awake. The fall off the scaffolding cracked my skull and put me under on purpose, sedated so my brain could rest. But when they started dialing the drugs back, I surfaced into a body that wouldn't obey me. I could hear the machines, feel the sheets, smell the antiseptic, and I couldn't lift a finger, couldn't open my eyes, couldn't make a sound, locked inside myself like a passenger with no controls. The first voice I caught was my wife's out in the hall, low and gentle in a way she hadn't used on me in years. "I know, I miss you too," she murmured. "Just hang in there a little longer, okay? It's almost over. It'll be worth it, I promise." Then she came in, sat by the bed, folded my hand in both of hers, and told me she loved me. Her voice was flat and dutiful when she said it to me, nothing like the warmth she'd carried into the hallway. That night I managed to twitch 2 fingers, and the night nurse caught it instantly. "You're responding. Let me get your family, they'll want to know." I squeezed once, hard. She frowned and asked if I was sure. I squeezed again. I didn't understand yet what I'd overheard, but every instinct I had said, stay quiet and listen. My best friend Dominic came by the next afternoon and stepped out to take a call, not knowing I could hear every word. "Stop it," he said, half laughing, voice dropping soft. "You're terrible. I know. We just have to be patient. Soon. It'll all be worth it. Trust me." I knew that laugh. He'd been my best friend since we were 19. When he hung up, he came in and held my hand and said he couldn't imagine what I was going through, that he just needed me to wake up so everything could go back to how it was. 2 calls, 2 people I trusted, 2 secrets. I got the nurse to slip a pen into my hand and scratched a note for my doctor. "Don't tell them I'm awake. Let me hear." He read it, studied my face for a long moment, and nodded. A few days later, my mother-in-law arrived and got to the point before she'd even taken off her coat. "I don't mean to be cold," she told my wife, "but you should look at his policy. The settlement from the company plus the life insurance, it's a lot. You have to think about yourself now. No one would fault you for building a new life." My wife said she was so grateful for the support. The older woman patted her arm and said that's what family did. The next day, my wife came alone and sat with me over an hour. She talked about our marriage, how long she'd felt stuck, how she'd stopped being happy years ago, all the things we'd never done, all the ways she felt she'd shrunk herself to fit our life. "I've been thinking about what I actually want," she said, almost to herself. "I think I'm ready to move on. I think I've been ready a long time. I just couldn't say it out loud." She talked about finally seeing Italy after all this, the trip I'd been begging her to take with me for a decade. She said it like a gift she was giving me, living out my dream once I was gone. Still didn't know who she was whispering to. Still didn't know who Dominic was seeing. Only that everyone circling my bed was hiding something, and none of them knew I was awake for all of it. On the 5th day, they gathered for a meeting about next steps. My mother-in-law announced that keeping me on machines was cruel, that I'd hate living like this, that I was always the stubborn one. My father-in-law nodded along, silent, the way he always was. My wife stepped up with tears streaming and gave a beautiful little speech about how I'd want dignity, how she needed peace to move forward. When she finished, I heard footsteps cross to her. "I love you," Dominic whispered. "We're almost through this." My mind went white. It was each other, my wife and my best friend, the whole time. Then my wife exhaled and said quietly, "Honestly, this might be the best thing that could have happened for us." The doctor let them finish. "I hear all of you," he said, "but I think we should ask the patient." My mother-in-law started to say I obviously couldn't answer, and stopped cold when I opened my eyes. My wife was holding Dominic's hand. Both their faces dropped the instant they saw me looking straight at them. "Say that again," I rasped. "The part about the best thing that could have happened." My wife dissolved, apologizing over and over. Dominic couldn't meet my eyes. I pressed the call button and had security walk every one of them out. At the door, my wife turned back to look at me. I gave her a small smile. "He's all yours," I said. "Congratulations. You two deserve exactly each other."